Welcome to Turning the Verge. I'm Emily Corbitt, and today we're on location in the Art District of Long Beach. And we're going to go inside and interview the owners of Jet Studios. So stick around, come on in, and let's check it out. Hi everybody, thanks for sticking around. We're now inside Jet Studios with Eric Simpson and Amanda Savercool, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their roles here at Jet Studios.
So Jet Studios is an artist collective here on the outskirts of the East Village Arts District. We are basically a group of people, residents here at the studio, who do different things. We have a gallery space here. We have music in different units. We basically open up our space for artists who need, a place for a gallery and to display, basically their work. So.
Awesome. What is your role, and what is your role, Eric, here?
I'm a photographer. I moved into the space.
There you go.
I moved into the space to use it as a photo studio. And I realized I had friends that were coming over to paint all the time. So when they were coming over and doing paintings, I thought, well, let's just use it as a gallery space when I'm not shooting. So it's my photo studio, but it's also a gallery space when need be. We have temporary walls that we set up, and we move things around to accommodate whoever, whether it's a painter or photographer, whatever they need.
All sorts of art. When did the idea come about? About a year ago?
Well, we lived in another space prior to this. We were trying to do it, and it didn't work. So we've been trying to do it for a couple of years, and it finally came into play about a year and a half. Well, almost 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm. And the name Jet Studios, who thought of that, or where did it
come from? Jet Studios is actually the building that we live in, and it was, prior to this, it was, I think, a carburetor shop. So it was Jet carburetors, but I could be wrong. Jet engines or Jet, something to do with engines that they were rebuilding. And they've kept the name throughout the years, and now it's Jet Studios. The current owner took it over, turned it into Lofts Artist Space, and that's what it is currently.
And what's really great about this space is because it's not a proper gallery. It's previously to now, and because we're building it to be what we want it to be, there's a lot of freedom for artists to use the space for whatever they, really choose to use it for.
However they feel like they need to express themselves, so they have an audience and hopefully potential buyers of their artwork.
And the freedom that we have in this space is really cool. Ourselves that we curate. Different people come to curate their own shows. Sometimes, we allow people to choose different art. And also, Arthur Martinez, who also lives in this building, he's a member, in the Long Beach arts community. Nice. So basically, all of us together, we have, it's not, whereas maybe a gallery in, on an art walk or something would have specific, criteria or different kinds of, restrictions, we kind of have the freedom to use the space as we please.
A little more freedom, which is what art is all about, right? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you want people to say or feel when they walk into your space? Is there a certain goal you have, or is it truly just whatever manifests when a different artist is doing it?
Well, I mean, I think it would just be what you'd expect from a gallery. I mean, we do have the freedom, but we also have
not a regular gallery.
Yeah, but we we'll have a mixture. So we will do some art, but there will also be entertainment and music, like we talked about. But I mean, it's really not any different than any gallery that you'd visit. The benefit is that we're basically creating it as we go. So but we're just getting started here, and that's what's exciting. So
perfect. How do you go about creating a show? What are the steps? Do you just wait for artists to sort of express their interest and form it themselves, or are you actively creating shows?
Right now, because we are just getting started, like I said, people are just learning about Jet Studios, and also, like I mentioned, and you'll speak to him later, Arthur Martinez. He's basically, he's involved more with the, basically organizing all the artists in this great city of ours. So, it's right now where it's just by word of mouth. People know that there's the opportunity here, and so we talk to different artists, and we usually they're group shows. So, it'll be a couple of different artists, maybe maybe they've all been working on something similar, so everybody shows together. The last show that we had for Greener Pastures was curated by Jose Cerda, and so, you know, there was different artists with a common thread of, I would say a lot of them are in the skateboard community. So, I mean, hobbies, interests, it all kind of comes together. I think right now it's been
So
you know,
looks
people's
like,
interests, bringing everybody together.
it looks like you focus more on the alternative side, not so much traditional art.
No.
Or are you really truly open to?
We're open to everything.
Everything.
The last shows that we've done, I've allowed other people to curate them, but we have specific things that we're looking for and that we want to do. We don't want to just put things up. We want people who want to present themselves as professionals and sell their art as professionals, not just anybody who on a wing just decides they want to display it in a gallery. It's not that type of a place. It's it's for the career professional who's actually trying to make money off of their work, but maybe can't get into a regular gallery or hasn't done gallery. Maybe you've done commercial work, but you've never shown in a gallery before. So this is a very small space to get started, kind of a launching pad, and we know that. We don't think it's anything bigger than that, but it hopefully can get people more exposure and get them seen by an audience that's not their friends.
Absolutely. What is the best way to market yourself as a studio? Is it online or?
Oh yeah, we have. You can find the website. Or is that what you're asking? The website?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have Jet Studios LB. On Facebook. So that's how a lot of people find out about a lot of things nowadays.
So Jet Studios on Tumblr and Facebook. Jet Studios LB. You can contact them there if you're interested in coming to their shows.
Yes, and that's really what it's like. He was saying it's about, because there is a disconnect a lot of times between artists doing what they love and actually making money at it. And somebody who wants to be an artist for a living needs to get exposure. I mean, we all need promotion, and so that's really kind of been. Eric uses this space as a photo studio. He's a photographer, but we had this space and this is Eric's, and so. We had this space in the meantime when he's not shooting. We thought, well, why not let artists use it to basically make themselves more known, and that's kind of our objective, I think.
Absolutely, something that's lacking in the community in Long Beach and Orange County, and it's great to see that.
But the artists in Long Beach really are, they all come together. They're all working together to challenge each other, grow, artistically, but also to promote each other to make money. It's not that. That's plain and simple, but ideally it would be that more people find out about shows and they come and they enjoy what they see, and maybe they'll learn more about a new artist. So.
Perfect. Expand their knowledge of the art community down here. Do you have any goals of what you want Jet Studios or your part of Jet Studios to become, or any ideas? Are you truly just putting it in the hands of the artist?
I don't think we're putting it just in the hands of the artist, but there's no real goals. As long as we live here, we'll just have shows that will be available for people that are legitimate and that want to really promote themselves and present themselves in a professional way.
As serious artists and professional.
But there's no long-term goals. I don't aspire to have this be some great gallery. I don't really care that much.
Perfect. Well, lastly, I do have one more question. What is the greatest reward for you to be able to offer a space like this for artists that you've so far had from doing this kind of space?
The show a couple shows back, we had a show that at the end of it, there were two people that aren't usually, they wouldn't usually get a gallery show, and they set up a show. We did it here, and they sold a lot of work, and they were really excited at the end. And it was a very small turnout, but it was the turnout they looked for. So we marketed it well. It turned out that they sold a lot of stuff. They were happy, and that's all we want. People that wouldn't have exposure that got exposure, and now they might be able to do something someplace else.
Simple as that. So if any of you out there are interested in attending any of Eric or Amanda's shows, you can definitely check out their Facebook, like we said. It's also on Tumblr, so Jet Studios LB, you can contact them. And thank you again. We're going to go ahead and transition into another member of Jet Studios, Arthur. So stick around, and thank you again for joining us, Eric and Amanda.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Start over. We're here with Arthur Martinez, the other part of Jet Studios. Hi, welcome.
Hi. Thanks.
Arthur. So tell me a little bit about your role here at Jet Studios.
I'm in number 4. Organize a lot of the stuff that goes on here. Help Eric and Amanda out also.
Perfect. And what is your role? I heard that you have a pretty big role in the art community here in Long Beach. Tell me a little bit about the things you do.
Oh, well, I manage Line Art Supply, who's, of course, the only art store within Long Beach, and with a couple schools around. That's maybe a little bit of influence in the community. So I try to make the most of what I have by promoting events there, like Lions at Night, which I'm having this Saturday, the 12th, where I've handpicked about 25 of the best local artists and artisans to show their stuff. Have a couple performances by Serena Serpentina, I think a swing band, food, drinks, and some other stuff too.
So you not only do art, but you also put on shows for musicians in the space. So.
Right. I also use my space. Today I'm actually having like 8 touring punk bands over. I've been having all sorts of art shows, art parties. A lot of touring bands actually. They're really interested in the space because there aren't a lot of places like it where it's just like an open area that's kind of off to the side, so you don't get too many noise complaints. And it's turned out pretty good.
It's a great space, and you're also an artist.
Mm-hmm.
We have one of his pieces right behind me. Tell me a little bit about that.
That was actually a piece that I did a couple years ago. I called, the working title, I didn't really like the name, but I was calling it The Perfect Sound, because I was just imagining water droplets on cymbals in a concrete room. Yeah, kind of weird.
Perfect. So is this mainly your type of art, or do you do other sorts of
I mostly do figurative work. Actually, this is one of the few still lifes that I've done. But I work in oils, primarily on panels and canvas.
And how do you help promote Jet Studios? Are you active in the promoting, or are you sort of behind the scenes?
I'm like the idea guy. No, just kidding. No, actually, it's like, you're just kind of like sitting around and you're like, hey, we should do this. And then, I come over to the neighbor's place and then they're like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then, Amanda is absolutely amazing in terms of networking and promoting. I mean, she has these tools that I never would have even thought of those. So, between all of us putting our heads together, we're really drawing a crowd.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of great things for Long Beach art community, because just a few years ago, this space really didn't exist as such an influence on art and local artists and helping promote, the businesses down here.
Right. I think that there was a good intention when people first moved in. There were some shows. I had actually attended a show like in 2004 or something like that. And I just remember looking around thinking, I want to live here. And that was a place right next door to the one where I live now. But since before I had moved in, there were a few years where it was just kind of down. And so now that we're all here and we have this kind of new energy, we're looking to kind of bring it back up to something.
Excellent. And you've done a few recent shows that I'm really excited about. Just looking online, you can research a little bit about Jet Studios and Arthur Martinez. One of them was a bake sale and an art show together in one. Hopefully we have some stills from that. Tell me about the show.
Yeah, that was Sweets for the Sweet, which actually I don't even remember what that was. But it was kind of like a bake sale fundraiser. Red Hands Media, which is the artist group that I promote also, is working on, can't talk about it too much, but a very, very large project. So we have a series of fundraisers that we're starting up. So I thought, why not just have a bake sale? Yeah, so it turned out really well. Yeah.
Great. Do you have any pieces from that you remember that you can tell us about that stood out? Because I noticed a few that were pretty interesting.
I kind of had a breakout piece, working on a piece with Genesis Sullivan, another artist in the group, where we had collaborated on a piece. I think there will be a photo of that. Yeah. Well, I guess you'll just see that. It's kind of weird.
It's a little under wraps right now. We can't really reveal that. Did you want to talk a little bit more about Red Hands Media, or what projects they do, or?
Yeah, that was a group that I started in 2007. I had been showing solo, and I started showing with a couple of friends, and I was like, well, that's more people. And then as I just brought on more people, I decided to give it a name, and that name has turned into basically an avenue where I can exhibit anything that I want to do, which is why the Red Hands Media, where it's not just visual arts, but it's also bands. It also represents 3D interactive sculptures. A lot of weird stuff that we have coming up.
Open to any form of art. And you also mentioned that you're not just focusing on upcoming forms of art or the trends of where art's heading right now, but you respect and are really into traditional art.
Yeah, the classical arts. I have a massive respect for, well, basically just the amount of time that people used to put into it. I mean, I feel that there's a lot of need to satisfy that, I got to have it right now kind of thing. And it's like, I think that, maybe something is lacking of that. So, I mean, personally, I study those classical arts, and I also teach those at I think I'm having a workshop at Lions on February 20th.
Name the store again.
At Lions Art Supply.
Lions Art Supply. So if you're interested,
February 20th, 1 to 4 p.m.
Perfect. Or
$40.
You'll have future classes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely about once a month. Yeah.
Great. So if anybody out there wants to learn more about Red Hands Media, or your background on your shows or your classes, what's a good website to go to?
Oh, yeah, there's like a lot of them. I think the best one is probably the Red Hands Facebook, which you can just search under Red Hands Media. I have a blog, which is artisanartist.blogspot.com, and Lions Art Supply to keep in tune with the events that we have coming up.
Great. One last question that I asked Eric and Amanda. What is the greatest reward for you for being able to create a space for artists and really revamping Long Beach's art district?
Seriously, it's just like in the thanks. Like a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of talent around town, but unfortunately there's not enough room for all of it, so to be able to offer my place as a space for like yoga studios, art shows, band rehearsals, people are like, thank you so much, because, I mean, I really just do it because I like it, so I don't charge anybody for it, so yeah, it kind of just helps everybody out.
Well, we do appreciate it, Orange County, LA, Long Beach, all of the art communities in this area. We appreciate your work here at Jet Studios. Eric, Amanda,
the curator
Arthur,
right here,
Jose
Cerda.
Jose
Cerda, tell us a little bit about yourself. Thanks for having us.
Hello, my name is Jose Cerda. It's a collaboration of artists throughout Orange County and LA County. They work within the skateboard industry, action sports industries, and basically Greener Pastures is
What's the theme behind Greener Pastures? What inspired that name?
Just a new leaf. It's new season, new year.
New season, new year, new art. Now, we have tons of artists here, and each of them has their own theme. What is the theme behind your art tonight?
I used more of an Eastern theme with Eastern work. Just something new, different, creative.
Something new, inspiring.
Yeah.
And it's hard for an artist to put his work into words, so we'll be sure to show you clips of some of his artwork and just a little bit of inspiration from him lately. Now, Jose, you are also one of Volcom's featured artists of the year, or basically you just have certain graphic designs that are featured throughout the year on clothing items. And you're also a curator of other shows, so how often do you put on shows like this?
Yeah, I curate shows about every other month throughout Orange County, Santa Ana, Huntington Beach, Long Beach.
Just bringing in the surf industry.
Mixing it up, bringing in different artists and giving them their spotlights.
Absolutely.
The notoriety they deserve.
Now, you started art as a kid.
Yes, ma'am.
Like many people. What inspired you to go, hey, coloring's great, but this is like a passion for me?
Well, I kind of saw what other people were doing and kind of what my family was doing as well. I got a lot of artists in the family as well, and they kind of showed me the ropes a little bit, but then I kind of saw like these guys and what they were doing, and I really enjoyed it, and I kind of just threw my own style on
and said, hey, I'm pretty good. I need a nickname, and it's going to be called Styles. Jose's art, you may have seen at other places. Your art's been featured at Coachella Music Festival, hasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That's got to be exciting.
We painted it up. I was in it a couple years, and one of the years we painted on the mannequins, and another year we painted onto recycle bins, which are trash bins. So yeah, it's a really cool event to work with.
Matt Lawrence and Rod Mojica? Correct. I got it that time. So Matt, now you are the face behind the graphic designs that you may see in some of surf industry's biggest names, everything from Quicksilver, which you currently work for, as well as Rip Curl, Reef. Continue, keep going.
Thank you. Well, I'm best known for my work with Tony Hawk's Hawk clothing line. So since 2001, I've been designing for his line, and I've done about 65 different character-driven cartoon graphics for him. And then Quicksilver Edition is the line I worked with in-house as well. And then also No Fear. And yeah, just keep building.
Tons. Awesome. Now, what's one word that you would use to describe your art? Just so we can get a visualization.
Just full of energy, you know?
Full of energy. Well, you're full of energy. Yeah. I can't thank you enough for having. Tell me a little bit about your background and your style.
Well, with me, I've always been a fan of drawing figures, and as I developed my skills, I drove more towards drawing the female figure, just to express the power that women can have. And I never exploit the women, just expressing their beauty.
Awesome. Now, have you been featured in any graphic designs, or are you just an artist?
I've worked in several different companies myself. I've done comic book work, animation, graphic design, t-shirt designs, but I just don't like working under an art director. So I just branched off and just started doing fine art on my own. However, I chose to use my art to benefit other people. So every year I hold a charity annual event to benefit Life Sharing.
Now, what's the name of your charity?
It's called Life Sharing, and Life Sharing brings awareness for organ donations. Because I'm a dual transplant recipient myself.
Well, that I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome. So you really are about giving back.
Exactly.
So we see your art. We don't just see the female form. We see emotion and a cause behind it. Tell me the story behind your art.
Well, the Nixon photo in there, or the Nixon painting in there, sorry. Basically, I mean, the theme on the art show was greener pastures.
Right.
A lot of people gave Nixon a bad rap, but in all fact, like he really made all the environmental acts that are now today. Mm-hmm. He made them happen, and he was even though being a Republican, he was a pretty darn good environmentalist. And if it wasn't for him, we'd be struggling more than we are now.
Perfect. Now, which one of the arts are you talking about specifically right now? Which piece?
The piece is called...
So this is an industry that a lot of people are trying to get into. Graphic design, surf companies, Orange County, people are probably sitting on the edge of their seats going, how did he do this? What are some few basic suggestions you have for people in your field?
Don't say no for an answer. I got a list of rejection letters and stuff, so just keep at it, because every successful artist, they'll tell you that they had a pile of those rejection letters, so just just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Believe in yourself.
A lot of passion and stuff. For me, what worked well, I broke in with Hawk and also Reef, is to know the company that you're applying to, do the research, know what style, what subject matter is going to fit for them. Like Rod would do good with Reef. So yeah, just always know your audience and
know your audience.
So just cater to them. So I did some images and I submitted it to them, and then they all said yes. So that's how.
They saw your talent. You believed in yourself, and you pushed forward, and look where you are right now at an awesome art show.
Yes,
Jet+studios.
With Rod and Emily, yes.
I'm so happy that you joined us tonight, and that you're letting us join you. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of Turning the Verge. I'm Emily Corbitt, and we'll see you next time.